Today I'm delighted to be joined by the Managing Director at Prospect Resources, Sam Hosack. Sam, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having us.
So, Sam, it's been an interesting time behind the scenes for Prospect Resources. I understand since your MOU with Uranium One, there's been a lot going on. Tell me a little bit about this.
Thank you. There certainly has been a lot going on, and there's not much detail that we can provide at this stage, but certainly the appointment of Renaissance Capital to help us on the advisory with Uranium One is a strong signal that we think they want to buy us. And it's worth remembering and bearing in mind that Arcadia project is the 7th large hard rock deposit in the world, and it's neither controlled by the Chinese nor the Americans. So strategically, there's a really strong fit for the Russians. And when you consider petalite and tantalum as byproducts or as credit products to spodumene, certainly would be one of the lowest cost spodumene producers globally. So we see they're very interested and we're moving that along.
Fantastic. It does sound like an exciting time for Prospect Resources there, Sam. Tell me a little bit about Renaissance Securities Limited. I understand they're your exclusive financial advisor. Tell me a bit about this.
Renaissance Capital have a large global footprint, but predominantly a strong African and a strong Russian participation and presence. And so there's a really good fit with us and Uranium One, and particularly during this period where we're less mobile and not able to travel, it's particularly helpful that they're in Moscow, which is where Uranium One are. So we're very we're very positive about their participation, and they're helping us along there.
Fantastic, thank you, Sam. And I understand you've had discussions with Sibelco for your Arcadia project. How is this progressing, and what is really the potential of this offtake agreement for you?
Well, the potential is certainly the largest petalite offtake agreement globally, and so we're very focused on it. Sibelco have at least 40-year history in the petalite sales, particularly into Europe and globally. So the potential for us is high and very strong. And at this stage, most of the key terms of that offtake have been agreed, and we're now in a process of binding these agreements, and look forward to bringing that sort of announcement to the market. It's very strong. It'll certainly build confidence in what we're doing with Sibelco.
Thanks so much, Sam. And I understand you've had some positive news out today regarding the petalite and enhancement to recovery. How exciting and how significant is this for Prospect Resources?
Yes, we've been very excited with our discussions with Sibelco. They're progressing nicely. And with the new knowledge of markets and the market potential for petalite, it's driven our team, particularly the technical elements, to find means to increase our petalite recoveries and to increase the products and volumes that we're able to ship. We've recently announced that Anzaplan out of Germany have done some lock cycle flotation tests for us, which have been successful, and demonstrate that global petalite recovery goes from 31% to 60%. So very nearly a double in petalite recoveries, which is a massive upside for us. And the team are going to be busy now focusing on how to economically lock that in and to demonstrate the full upside for our shareholders. The possibilities are an increased reserve and resource, and certainly greater volumes and therefore bigger revenues. So I look forward to bringing you more updates on that.
Fantastic. Exciting news today for you, Sam. What are some things investors can really look forward to now in the next few months from Prospect Resources?
Well, the main thing is that Renaissance Capital and Uranium One and Prospect Resources are working very hard to finalize our negotiations and discussions. The Sibelco announcement, which will be the completion of a binding offtake agreement, is imminent, and we're working hard to get that out. And the AfricSim funding, we're progressing that nicely, and AfricSim and Prospect Resources are fully engaged and progressing the debt finance. And finally, the continual improvements in the economics in relation to petalite recovery, which is probably the most exciting new information that we have for the market.
Fantastic. It's a busy time for Prospect Resources, Sam. Pleasure having you here with us today.
Thank you for having me.